Okay. Thank, okay, thank you, Dad, for coming here to my conferences and taking time out of your day. Ms. Farland, this is my dad, Mr. Hayden, and Mr. Hayden, this is my mentor teacher, Ms. Farland.
Nice to meet you.
If you want, you could take notes or write down your questions for after the conferences.
Okay.
The subjects we've been going over are language arts, math, science, and social studies and electives. Our school is really focused on reading, writing, and math. And then towards the end, my teacher is going to show my grades on Infinite Campus. So in English, I've been learning about how to better write essays, write an objective summary, or an essay while being timed. My strengths is I could write the essay, get good pieces of evidence, and I could write good. And then my area of growth is I have to annotate the text or the poem better. This is what I've been working on. The highlighting is like steps we do while writing the essay. Like blue is the hook. Green means what's it called? We talk about like we restate and answer the claim. And then yellow is the piece of evidence. Orange is explaining that piece of evidence. And then in the back, that last paragraph, the green is we restate and answer the claim again. And then the yellow recaps everything about what we talked about in the paragraph. And then at the end, I just said, thank you for reading my essay.
Perfect.
In science, we've been learning about collision, speed, mass, force, and the measurement of force. My strengths are I know a lot about the speed, mass, and things about what we're talking about, and the measurement of force. An area of growth for me is I need to better understand on finding data in our projects. This was a test we did on force in science.
Okay.
It was about soccer and how when you could lose you could get concussions and stuff from hitting the ball or other players. And it talks about all of that over here too.
What was it asking you to write about?
What happens when it would talk about which one would have least momentum or kinetic energy, or the most kinetic energy, and how would it affect the person. And then in social studies, I've been learning about slaves, independence, Frederick Douglass, Abigail Adams, John Adams, the Declaration of Independence, women's rights, and what 4th of July meant to some people, and lastly about the Founding Fathers. My strengths are I know a lot about this history, and I could explain it good. And then an area of growth for me is I need to find better evidence inside of the text, because they're kind of hard to understand.
And so what is that?
This is it's a text about Frederick Douglass and what 4th of July meant to slaves.
And what was the teacher asking you to do as you read that?
They wanted us to answer the goal about how to find out how slaves felt about freedom and the Founding Fathers.
Okay.
And we had to write 3 sections about it.
Good.
And then in my electives, I have 2 electives. I have speech and drama and tech. In speech and drama, I've been learning about how to act in a play and how to memorize my lines in a play. My strengths are memorizing the lines in the play, and then an area of growth for me is remembering my movements in the play. I don't really have anything for that class.
Okay.
And then for tech, I've been learning about how to 3D print, and I learned what a wax seal is. My strengths is I know how to 3D print, and then my area of growth for me is I have to learn how to use Tinkercad better. And that's it for my classes. I have math too. Where did I put my math one?
It's right here. It was already attached to it.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
In math, I've been learning about how to graph points, find slope, and I learned also how to find y-intercept and x-intercepts, and how to solve for x. My strengths are for solving for slope and the y-intercept, and an area of growth for me is plotting those points on a graph. This is about solving the equations to find slope or to find x. And then I have this other math class, which is geometry, and we've been learning about shapes and how there's different ways how we could find out when a shape is similar to each other. A growth for me in that class is I have to learn how to understand more about the angles and stuff. And we've been learning how there's different formulas. There's AA, which is angle, SAS is side angle side, and then SSS is side side side. That's all of my classes.
That was a really good job. Do you have any questions about his schoolwork? No, do you have any questions about his schoolwork or what's happening in the classrooms?
Yeah. You said something about Tinkercad? What is Tinkercad?
Tinkercad is a platform in tech about how to 3D print.
And is it like you have to program it to do the 3D printing? It's programming, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like programming.
Yeah.
So you're creating what you're gonna print on a system. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's really the only question I had.
So we're at the end of the quarter, and we have some what we call a progress report. And so I'm going to give this to Yoanni, and he can explain his grades that he has in all of these classes.
So in Rise, which is our very last class of the day, I'm passing. I have 123% in it. In speech and drama, I have an A. In language arts, I have an A. In math, I have a B. In science, I have an A. In social studies, I have an A. And then technology, I have an A.
Okay.
And then I have a C in geometry.
Okay. And that's the class that's at Northridge?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you struggling with in geometry?
I think I have some missing items in my notebook that we had to put in there.
Okay, so you need to get those turned in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was a really good job. So, like Yoanni said before, I'm Miss Farland, and I'm just going to go through. We went through his grades. Now I want to take a look at some of the other things that we have in this conference folder for you. Every year, scholars are required to take the state assessment. And the state assessment is called CMAS. And it measures students' ability in reading, which is language arts, and their abilities in math. And so the language arts combines writing and reading together. And so right here, Yoanni scored clear in the exceeded expectations, and you're in the 92nd percentile. So that's a super high score.
Good job.
It's a really high score. And so we just want to continue to keep pushing. He demonstrated on the assessment that he can read grade level text and writes to that grade level text. So the stuff that you're working on in your English class and in your social studies class and science, all of that reading is helping you to be successful. That helped you last year to be successful. So I thought that was just excellent. And then if you look at his math scores, he met the expectations in math, and that's the 89th percentile. And so you're kind of right in the middle of that math. So you're right on track, but now you're also in geometry, so we really want to push that diamond into exceeded expectations, because you definitely have the smarts for it. So we have to just kind of figure out what it is that you're still struggling with that you would need to get some additional tutoring on. This assessment was from last year.
Okay.
So you're right on track for high school and in college and career, so I just love that. Now I'm going to have you look on my screen right here. This is what's called a progress monitoring tool, and we refer to it as a MAP test. And this is, if you take a peek right here, this is Yoeni's performance and the goal that we had set for him, but I don't feel like the language arts goal is correct. So when you look at his language arts, this is a little progress monitoring tool. For some reason, I don't know what happened here. Because you were almost at advanced.
Yeah, I drop a lot.
And then you went all the way down to this score. So I'm not sure what happened. You've always been, and so then what I looked at up here was to make sure that you took your time on the assessment. So what this tells me is you probably just didn't do very much work with the reading and writing over the course of the summer, which you just can't take a gap like that, because you can see right here what that does to your scores, especially after coming in off this very, very, very high CMAS score. Okay? And then we'll take a look at math, and he took the math assessment right at the start of the school year. And at the end of the school year, he was up here in this blue, which is really exceeded expectations. It's at advanced, which he also scored on CMAS, was at getting closer to that. And then he kind of took a dip here. And so what these scores tell me is that when you take time off in the summertime, you're losing some skills. And so you're going to really want to be able to figure out how you can continue to do some learning when we have breaks. You're going to be going into high school, and you want to start off with as much power as you can. So when I look at this is like a goal setting sheet right here for maps. We're going to take that progress monitor at the end of the school year. Again, he'll take it in winter, and then he'll take it again at the end. But he has some pretty low scores for reading. And so my expectation for Yoeni in the reading department is that he needs to gain his ground and get back up here to 29. So I don't feel like 214, that still keeps you clear down here. We're just not going to do that. And I know you can regain those skills. Okay, so that would be my goal, making sure that you get up to where you used to be. And at one point, you were in an advanced range. So, and then math, definitely in the area of math, his goal would be that I'd like to see him get back up to that 251. And that just says 247. So that's pretty close, but that still just drags him along in the green, and I think you're blue. Okay? And so there's that information. That's going to go home with you, so you can have that for your records. And then we have, because you're just seeing a mentor teacher and not all of his teachers, if you have questions, we've given you some contact information right here to reach out to them directly. After these conferences, you can go and see the electives teachers. If you want to just meet his teachers and kind of get additional information on electives, that would be great. But his core teachers, if you have questions or if you want to reach out to them, the information is all right here for you. Okay? So we have a bunch of other stuff kind of happening here at our school, but I wanted to kind of go through, finish this part up right here. A lot of times during conferences, parents ask us what can they do at home. And so we've put together just a guide of things that you can do at home with your scholar, or encourage your scholar to be doing at home. And it's reading anything, checking out books and reading narratives, reading informational texts, being able to just practice some math skills, doing your homework. I'm sure you have some homework that you have to do, just making sure that all of those commitments are being taken care of is super important. And then if your scholar's invited to after school tutoring or Saturday school, it's super important that they're there. Especially because we just have a lot of work to do. So with that said, here is the after school tutoring and the Saturday school schedule. It's just the times, and we host that every week, and you'll get a robocall if it's going to be canceled. So otherwise, we have it offered every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for after school, and then pretty much every Saturday. Okay, and so to wrap up just this educational piece before we just get into some of the other things that we're doing at our school, we are asking that parents please that all of us will complete what's called an educational commitment plan. And so I'm going to read this educational commitment plan. And the student's responsibility and commitments, I will do my best at school, pay attention in class, get assignments done on time, and participate in tutoring when needed. I will demonstrate the Franklin core values at school, on the bus, and at all school activities. I will treat other students and adults nicely, even if they are different from my friends and me. I will not bully anyone. I will attend school every day and be on time to class. I will only miss school when I am sick. I will talk to my parents often about school and what I'm learning. I will also track my grades regularly to see if I am missing assignments. I will also ask my teachers or principals for help if I have any questions or problems at school. I will read for 30 minutes every day outside of school. I will attend after school tutoring and Saturday school when invited so that I can get work on my academic skills and missing work. I will believe in myself and give my best effort every day. So do you feel like that you can commit to these statements as a student here?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ask you just to sign your name right there. Okay. And then for the parents' commitment, we have these commitment statements that it's really a full circle of support for Yoani, and then I have my commitments on the back that our school is going to commit to. And so what we have for parents is I will encourage my scholar to do his or her best in school every day. I will make sure my scholar reads 30 minutes every day outside of school. I will make sure my scholar is in school every day unless he or she is sick. I will talk daily with my scholar about school. I will try to the best of my ability to check my scholars' grades regularly and talk to them about how they are doing in school. I will do my best to participate in school-related functions and support my scholars' academics and social emotional growth. When invited for after-school and Saturday school tutoring, I will do my best to make sure my scholar is in attendance. And so I know that parents all have like lots of things on their plates, and so this is what we're striving for in our partnership. So if you can commit to this, just ask that you sign the commitment statement. Okay. And then I'm going to read what Franklin promises to do for you and your scholar. We were going to have high expectations and provide academic rigor for all scholars. We will address the diverse learning needs of scholars based on different cultures, strengths, challenges, and primary language. We will conference with parents and scholars regularly regarding academic progress. We will do everything in our power to provide a safe and rigorous learning environment. We will build positive professional relationships with students and families through active communication, and we will provide scholars with all the tools necessary to be successful in the classroom and push each scholar to grow to his or her full potential. So I'm going to commit to that, and I'm going to sign right here. And so what I need you to do and to think about is you need to think of a goal. What are 2 goals that you're going to commit to this year based on the information that you shared with your family, with your dad? What do you feel like is a good goal for you?
Try to keep all my grades up to an A.
Okay. I will know I'm successful when you check your grades and see that they're all A's. Okay, and what's the second goal that you think you can commit to?
Reading at home for 30
Yeah.
minutes.
30 minutes every day reading at home. I love it. It's excellent. So you might want to check out a book from the library. So you'll have to talk to Miss Monica, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have one.
when I finish the book.
Yeah. Or you can even keep a little tracking sheet. Set a timer. 30 minutes. This is great. Okay. So we're going to put this in your folder because this is your commitments and it's our commitment, okay? You get to take that with you. So we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about some of the management side to things here at Franklin. This is just his space sheet, and I wanted to make sure if you could go over that and just double check to make sure everything is still accurate. So if you can get those robocalls if we mail something, you can have that. It won't get sent back to us. Yoannie, you did such a great job. Here is your free no uniform
Everything looks good on there.
ticket. Okay. So we have just put some additional stuff in the folders just so that you kind of get a bigger picture of what's happening at Franklin. So we're getting ready to start the World's Finest Chocolate fundraiser. We did this last year, so you might remember. And every scholar, we're asking that every scholar check out one box, but we need to make sure that families get permission to do that.
Okay.
So that we're asking each scholar in the school to sell at least one box. Is that something that you can commit to?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to have you put your signature, your email, and Miss Farland would be the teacher. Great. There's been some confusion at our school about our dress code. I'm not gonna go through this with you, but this is our dress code policy, just to get an idea. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to the school, but this is just a one-pager. It's in English and in Spanish if you need that. The district has moved to a cell phone policy. And so I just needed to go over this with you. The district's priority is safe and focused academic learning environment. For all students in order to protect the learning environment, they're asking that all personal devices be turned off and put in their backpacks. They have shown, and the reason they've got this commitment is how will we be able to get a hold of our children? Well, you just need to call the school and ask that, can you please pull your student down to the office because you have to talk to them, or we can pull them down to the office with their cell phone and they can call you. So that's how you can still reach your student. And then some of the common questions are, why are you prohibiting the use of cell phones during academic periods? Because research shows that they're extremely disruptive. And we want to make sure that Yoannie has access to the highest level of learning, and we need all of his concentration for that. And then what happens when a student's using their phone during class? Well, we're just going to ask them to put it away in their backpack, right? We do that every single day. And if that's a tough thing, then we're going to have them bring the phone to the office and we'll have it locked up and he can pick them up at the end of the day. I don't believe that's been an issue with you, but that's been an issue with some other kids this year. Okay, so just so that you know, that's a district decision. And then if you're not already on our Facebook, Instagram, or have gone to our website, that's just follow us on Facebook. We post a lot of stuff on Facebook and Instagram about upcoming events.
Okay.
Speaking of, Trunk or Treat Street. So if you have any littles, come on October 30th from 5 to 7. And we do this every year. And we always have a great turnout. So it's pretty fun. And it'll be right out here in our parking lot. We also have a Gear Up, the Gear Up Pledge. So for 7th and 8th graders, Gear Up is an organization that's really sponsored by the government. Like the federal government has given us money to bring Gear Up counselors into our school, and they're going to help support and create opportunities to get Yoannie career and college ready. And it's really centered around career exploration. And so we're super excited to have them on board with us. We just wanted to introduce them to you.
Okay.
We have, if you are interested in buying a yearbook, a middle school yearbook, that's the yearbook information form. And then this is a really important piece for us, it's a Franklin Community Forum. And we're going to be hosting that. And it's going to be on November 12th from 5 to 7. We'll have some light snacks and we have babysitting will be provided. And we are really looking to rebrand Franklin to shift a little bit from the innovation plan that we've had in the past and continue with the high rigorous curriculum, but we want to add a component of career and technical education. And so to make to allow scholars to be college and career ready. But we need input from the community, and we'd like to bring parents in to talk to us about, their thoughts on that. What would that look like? And give some ideas around what we would change our name to. It's going to require a name change, and so we just need some input and just any questions that you may have as we move forward as a community. We just feel like that we could bring and offer some unique things to our scholars that will put them in a more direct path of like the careers you want to explore, so that you can go to college or go into a trade school or whatever it is you decide to do. That process kind of starts now, and so we want to be very formal about it. So we hope you can attend. If not, that's fine, but we just wanted to let you know and invite you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that wraps up our time together. Do you have any questions for myself, and if you, like I said, if you needed to reach out to another teacher, you have the contact information to do that, and they will definitely get back in touch with you.
Yeah, I thank you for your time today.
Yeah, well done. Okay, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, you too.